welcome back to another video. Simon Side of Football. Please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. So Thomas Frank yesterday done his first interview. Spurs have their first game of pre-season today. Not a lot happened with transfers last week, but we'll get into it with a video. So Thomas Frank's press conference was yesterday. He made a few good points, and we'll get into some of them. So they were talking about the captaincy. He was asked if Sonny would stay on as captain, and he said he hasn't decided yet, but it would be his decision who would be captain. I think today half a game is going to be Sonny as captain, and the other half is going to be Romero. With the captaincy, actually, I was a bit. It does still make me wonder if Sonny will still be there at the start of the season. I think he has said he will stay, but I still wouldn't be surprised if he left, because I thought he would have still stayed definitely on as captain if he was going to be around. So, and because he's got to be there still for the Asia tour, because of obviously going into his country, to his continent and stuff like that, and I think the contract was said with Sonny playing and stuff like that. He can't be sold before, so they're not going to announce that he's going to leave or stuff like that. I don't think that just wouldn't happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if he still left, if I'm honest, and Romero end up being the captain this season. But we'll see. I might be wrong. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. He was also asked about the squad. He said he was happy with the squad. He's happy with Kudus. He said it's a great signing. He said he wants to compete in all 4 competitions. It will take time, and he needs to build a squad for that. He said, but that's the aim. He said, to be competitive in all 4 competitions, which is nice to hear, because the last obviously few years it's either done well in, like, we come 5th 2 years ago in the league, didn't do anything in the cups. Last year finished 17th, won the Europa League. But yeah, and we've done quite well in the other cups actually. We got to the semi-final of the League Cup, and we lost to Villa in the FA Cup, which, you know, away to Villa was a tough tie. So we didn't go out to a lower less team in the league. So yeah, sorry, that was my dog barking. Good first impressions from Thomas Frank. Very good interview. So we're excited to see how they play today. I think it's a big week for Spurs, really, this week, before the tour, week and a half, I think it is, just under a week and a half to the Asia tour. So I think a lot's got to happen. With what I think we need a few players in before then. Hopefully we'll get 2 or 3 in. I think next week will be a big week, and get a few also leaving the club, either on loan or sold. I think with the next 2 fixtures we've got Reading and Luton. I think you'll see quite a lot of the fringe players getting quite a lot of minutes, just to see who he thinks are going to be part of his squads, and players who are going to either be going out on loan or sold. So I think it'll be a lot of the not sure players, he's not quite sure yet, will get quite a lot of minutes to determine who will be staying and who won't be staying for next season. Because I believe the players who he's not going to be interested in won't be going on that tour, they'll be left behind to find new clubs or go on loan. So we'll see that. So we'll probably see quite a lot of minutes for Solomon. Archie Gray will probably play in the 6 quite a lot of minutes as well. Players like Fuskovic, Dorrington, and players like that, I think will get quite a lot of minutes in these next 2 friendlies. If that's just my view, I don't know anything, but you know, that's just what I think. So we'll see. So transfers. So the Morgan Gibbs White situation is still going on. Nothing's really changed. It's been. He has said that he wants his future sorted by Monday. Forest have got a friendly today, so it'd be interesting to see if he's in that squad. I think Forest will put him in the squad just to show like that. They've been quite tough on this transfer, haven't they? So I think they'll be showing like, look, he's our player, he's playing. So I think he'll play today. Unless something's developing and something happens today, then he won't be in the squad. And I think it'll be a lot closer than what's made out really of this transfer. Be interested on Monday if he goes on tour with Forest. If he goes on tour, then I don't think the transfer is close at all yet. I think it's still nothing really would have been happening, but we will see. for the next few days are quite telling to see if Gibbs White is close to Tottenham or it's not close to Tottenham, but we'll see. So let's have a look at the players who we've been linked with. So on the left side, the first one I'm going to talk about is Rafael Leao. So there's been a few reports that Spurs would be interested in him if AC Milan do lower their price. Paratici has been, you know what he's like with the Italian league. He knows a lot about that, and he talks to a lot of the players out there, who we get him through the door from the Italian league. So with the Leao one, do I think I can't see it happening this one. It'd be a great signing, but there's a lot of the big clubs who want left side players, like Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Arsenal. They're all looking for left side players, and I think if Leao is available, I think his first choice would be one of them clubs if they were interested. So I think it'd be a difficult deal for Tottenham to get Leao done. I think it's more of just a rumour, but you never know. Who knows? It might happen, but I'd be happy if that did happen. But I can't see that one. More the Garnacho. There have been reports with Garnacho as well. At first, I was a bit disappointed with this one, but the more I thought about it, and the more it's gone on, I've sort of warmed to it a little bit more. I think he's a bit inconsistent, and that was why the reasoning of do we want another player who's going to be a bit inconsistent. When he's good, he is good, but when he's not good, he's not good. Yeah, the cliche. But yeah, but there's reason. He's a young player. He's playing at a turmoil club at the moment, Man United. They've probably the worst form and the worst way the club's been run for many, many years. It's probably they've probably been at this lowest point this last season. So and he's one of the younger players. So and even the senior players, like the Casemiros and players like that were very poor last year. So you have to take things in context. Bruno was probably the only one who really stood out a bit for United last year. So the more I think about it, I would be a bit more warmth to it than I was when I first heard the reports. But still, it's still another player. It's still another risky player. I would still like a more experienced player to come on the left, especially if Sonny does end up leaving, because we've got Matthias Tell and Odibert. We'll probably want a bit more of a senior player on that side, but we are looking for a left-sided forward or a striker. You'd say depends on Richarlison, I think, with that one, if that happens. But yeah, let me know in your thoughts what you think of that. But yeah, I'm more warm to Garnacho than what I first was. Number 6 player, we still need a number 6. Still the same players being rumoured, really. The likes of Palhinha. Also players like Douglas Luiz. Also Walton. So we'll have to wait and see if anything materialises, and we'll have to see what happens, really. But yeah, on the number 6, we'll still need a number 6, and hopefully we'll get. We need to get a number 6 in before we go on our tour. I think we need 2 or 3, and so we'll have to wait and see. We still need a left back. I'd love to have Robinson from Fulham, but we'll have to wait and see with that one. Still not been any more really reports this week about that, but we've had reports centre backs of Sabania, Lecoq from Palace. See, we've got about 9 centre backs. It tells me if we're going to go and get another centre back, that he's either going to play 3 at the back in some games, or players like Dorrington, Phillips, Takai, and Fuskovic will go out probably on loan. That's my theory. And we've still got Dragusin, who's injured for a little bit. He did mention that Maddison and is closer to be back than Ragu and Kulusevski. So we do still have injuries, but we have like Ben Davis still there, who plays centre back. We've got Romero, Van der Ven, Danzo. So if we get a centre back in, that probably tells me a few of these youngsters are going to go back out on loan and not quite ready. But we'll have to see on that one. And then so looking forward to the season. The first pre-season game starts today. See how we're going. To be interested to see how Thomas Frank does and what sort of system he plays and what players play. But yeah, this is going to be a busy week, I think, for Spurs. We need some players who are going to, there's people like Richarlison. Is he going to leave? Solomon, there's players we need to get out the door. We've not sold anyone. No one's interested. You think of Sunderland. They've had a brilliant transfer window. They really have given themselves a good chance of being competitive and even staying up this year. They've done really well. They've got 8 or 9 players in now. I think they're still linked for players. So, you know, it can be done. You can get 2 or 3 in within a week. So, if they can do it, why can't Tottenham do it? So, we'll have to wait and see. I just want to say before the end of this video, a big thank you to you all. You know, all tuning in, watching my videos. You know, I've been doing YouTube now for a couple of weeks. I've enjoyed it, and I want to thank you guys. There's a couple of people I do want to thank. Is Brian Daigle, who's on Tottenham on tour. He's been really supportive, give me a lot of good advice as well, and also Sava from Football Heritage TV, give me a good advice yesterday, and he's been really supportive. So I want to thank you guys. And just hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you all in the next one. Come on, you Spurs.